Hi guys, welcome back. On the left we have Shakeel Soopee and Navare Wilson on the right. Shaq's the oldest Magic player in Cape Town. He remembers playing in the first GP in Cape Town. He came last in that event. Today Shaq is playing Jeskai Control and Navare is playing Green White Orders. We're just waiting on them to start.
I believe they've been given the go-ahead, so
So, Thomas, who do you think is favored in this matchup?
it heavily depends on the player, and I don't believe we saw who's starting or not.
I do see a
Leyline of Sanctity.
in Vazan.
Yeah.
Maybe they're just trying to figure out how do they start with the ley line.
I believe you just played before play starts? Like before starting. Okay, so it's starting now. Okay, so we can have a look at the Vaz hand in a moment.
So Shakeel starts with a blood fountain.
And Shakeel's hand does not look like it's ready for this matchup. He's stranded with 2 Path to Exiles, which aren't going to do much against these hexproof creatures. So he's heavy reliant on any sweepers he may have, which he has. Oh.
Yeah, Navare just drew a
Rancor?
no, so he drew a Cosplay Dancer.
Okay.
I think he's just playing the Rancor. He doesn't have the second land at this point in time.
Yeah, he doesn't have any forces.
So Shaq doesn't have any Edict effects in his deck.
I don't think so, but he may have a couple sweepers.
Do you think? Okay, just so Shaq had the chance of playing a turn 2 Snapcaster and just blocking.
Did he have the option?
I don't know
Does he have one in his
if he
He
had.
does have the option, but we don't know if that's in his hand or not.
Do you think that's the correct play?
Oh yeah. If your opponent's like mana screwed and doesn't have a creature, like if you can still trade with something, then you want to trade. So the only ways Shaq has of dealing with them. Okay, so he has 2 Supreme Verdicts and a Sail the Wreckage, and he can do some blocking, like giveaways and basic colonnades and such.
Settle the Wreckage is probably very good in the matchup.
Yeah.
Oh, but then again, you can't target Navare.
Oh, he can't. Yeah, he can't target Navare anymore. So his only out is Supreme Verdict or blocking. But Navare seems to have drawn out of his mana screw, so I think this is going to get much more difficult for Shaq.
And because Navare doesn't have to worry about any Lily of the Veils, he doesn't have to fetch a Dryad Arbor.
No, he can just find a plains or whatever and just shoot it up. The only thing he has to worry about is maybe getting it out of the range of Snapcaster Stall, but I don't think he'll have a problem with that.
One thing that Shaq has going for him, Navare doesn't have his second white source.
So he can't Daybreak.
Yes.
So I believe we're going to see a Trial of Solidarity and then a second Gladehouse Scout here.
So what does this trial do?
Okay, so it gives the creature +1/+1 and first strike, so and then it makes another 1/1.
So isn't that's the cartouche?
Yeah, the cartouche. Yeah,
okay.
Cartouche of Solidarity. Sorry.
So Shaq needs a turn for verdict here now.
Yeah, he needs to find a verdict real quick. The other issue in this matchup because of the ley line is he can't use Lightning Helix to
gain life.
So
in order to gain life, he would have to direct him to his creatures, his own Lightning Helixes.
His own creatures. But because of the soldier, he may just have access to something now. So I think Shaq might go for this weird play of electrolyzing the 1/1 and just electrolyzing the 1/1 to draw a card. And Navare is not playing his second Glade cover, so yeah, electrolyze 2 at the soldier. Yeah, he can't talk to you.
Navare's.
So I think this. Oh. So Shaxx hit his fourth land drop, but do you need double white? Yeah, you need double white for Supreme. So
Yes.
even with his land drops currently, he cannot cast Supreme Verdict.
Um.
So Shaxx sitting on 12, Navare on 17. So at the moment, Navare has a 3-turn clock, soon to be more.
Play
Okay,
cover.
yeah. So I believe we're gonna see a shock and then Daybreak Coronet.
Do you think Shaq is a favor to win if he gets a board wipe on his creatures?
Um, it's in very situational circumstances because there's also Umbras in the deck.
Okay.
So
There we see the play of Snapcaster
snap
block.
block. Oof. Okay.
So he
That might
still.
have swung things in Shaq's favor, at least for a little while. So
So
he's gonna
Shaq takes
take
4
3
damage.
3 damage.
Snapcaster is a 2/1.
Yeah, and it's a 4-2.
So
So Shaq's on
if it's a 4/2, 4/2 minus
1,
3.
3.
Sure, 9.
Okay, so Shaq's on a 3-turn clock now. But oh, it has first strike. Right, he has to chump.
Okay.
Okay, so he's just using that to gain 1 life. I mean, it's still the same clock. Oh, but he did it to opt, so he can further dig. So Shaq's close to the Supreme Verdict or bust.
Navare has a Temple Guardian in hand. Do you like holding it? Or would you have played it?
I think I would have just played it. This isn't a deck that hurts you too much. I can't see why he didn't. Maybe he forgot. Like if you're gonna play your land if you have land.
Yes.
And Shaq playing an island suggests that he doesn't have the Supreme Verdict. So
I mean, you can see
think-
Shaq is struggling on mana here.
yeah, I think we may be heading to game 2.
So I know in past they used to play a lot of Umbra effects,
Yes.
which allowed them to beat the
board wipes.
board wipes. These new versions of Hexproof, I've noticed they play less Umbras.
Yeah, they used to play the Green Umbra, Spider Umbra.
Spider Umbra.
But I think there's a couple one-ups that they've been moving in and around, like the Cartouches, Griff's Boon, Open the Armory, Keen Sense, all of those effects. The deck's pretty much like a 58 card deck, and then the other 2 slots are.
Navare Shock goes down to 15.
Yep.
So, I've also noticed that they've upped the Spirit Mantles. In the past, it used to be a 1, 2.
One of his, well, I think it's 12
Yeah.
these now. Very good. It makes it so you can just destroy creatures like all the time. It gives your creature unblockable in like every matchup.
Yeah, so you can either block or.
Yeah, block or attack without worrying about anything. I'm not sure. Okay, so you had 4, 5. Okay, so it wasn't lethal with the Daybreak Coronet no matter what. That's why I was going for the Spirit Mantle.
So, goes down by 6. Shaxx on 3 damage, 3 life.
Okay, so Shaq still has to try and go for the Supreme Verdict. So I don't know if Shaq has the Supreme Verdict in his hand, but he needs to find White Source and Supreme Verdict. So he keeps it.
So he has White Source now, I believe.
He would be digging to anything that resembles
Is
Supreme
that
Verdict White Source.
Is that an old school Arrow Fountain or is it a Steam Vents?
Whoa. Does the wreckage target? Doesn't it say for each attacking creature?
No.
Target player controls or something.
Yes.
Okay. Target opponent.
I think he has the board wipe if he's attacking.
Yeah, I would assume so. Oh, he has Cryptic Command.
Oh, so he's trying to get aggressive.
Yeah, so he's gonna. I assume he's gonna try and tap down all these creatures.
Do you like the play of Cryptic Bounced?
On Snap?
Snap, yes.
Yeah, that's probably a good play.
And Navare is fetching.
Because that gives him more outs to draw the Supreme Verdict, as he has 2 shots at the Cryptic Command.
So
So
Navare's down to 12 now, after taking 2 points from the
1 point from the sack.
1 point from the sack and 2 from the snapcaster.
Yeah.
I
So
think
Navare's probably gonna suit up. Actually, he may not suit up the Bogles as it's lethal on board anyway, and he may just want to keep the cards in hand to reboard. Yeah, looks like he's. Ooh, yeah. And now we're
before
gonna see the
combat.
cryptic command. Do like the because against Bogles, the difference between 3 life and 2 life
Whoa!
isn't bounce, but he can cast it second main.
So you might have to
Tap
set
bounce.
you might have to settle the wreckage in hand.
Tap bounce. This means he has logic not.
Yes.
He has to have a come spell here then. Oh, maybe he doesn't. Okay, so he's gonna sack, find a dual land. He's gonna go down to 2.
That's some strange sequence scene from like
Yeah, I think if you don't have the board wipe, you want if you have the board wipe, you're gonna draw a card, and if you don't, you try and bounce the snapcaster to set up for another cryptic command. So some interesting. Maybe Shaq just has another. Maybe he was trying to bait Navare because maybe he doesn't have a way out. So maybe Navare would go, okay, I know this is going to get counted. I'm not going to cast or something like that.
or Shaq might just have a handful of burn spells.
Yeah. The main phase up means still looking for something. So
Could be a land drop. Or
don't know how he gets out of this if it's not Cryptic Command or Supreme Verdict.
how many cryptic commands does Shakeel have?
I believe it's 2 or 3. He has 4 Cryptic Commands. Okay, so it is quite likely.
That he has one.
Yeah. Hmm.
Shakeel's in the tank. Oh, and he scoops him up. You probably did not see the line.
Yeah, of bouncing the Snapcaster.
So going to sideboards. What do you think Shakeel brings in?
From Shakeel, we're gonna see. I think Anger of the Gods is something you still have to bring in just in case they don't Auras up and it's super good on the play, which he'll be. We may see Engineered Explosives as it's a good way to clear the dorks.
What's your opinion on Elspeth Sun's champion?
Elspeth's Sun's Champion is good if you get to the late game, as it can just create infinite blockers as long as they have trample. And he also has a Lyra, which is good if he wants to race, as well as Werte, which can get rid of enchantments.
And I mean, didn't click. Don't you think it's a good piece of interaction? It's a decent blocker.
I'm not sure about the Vendilion Click, as it doesn't do too much, as the deck only does one thing, and that's put auras on a 1/1 creature, so it's not there to hit a specific thing, and you can't hit lands.
Sure.
So the only thing you could do is try and hit a dork, but they're not going to keep that in their hand. So I reckon we'll see Anger, Engineer Explosive, maybe the Elspeth, Lyra, and the Weta. Then from Navare, he's playing against Jeskai control.
Yeah.
And he's going to bring in Gaddock Teagues, which seemed great because Shaq's deck's full of Supreme Verdicts, Stellar Wreckage, Cryptic Wands.
Do you think he brings in
Rest in peace.
Dampening Sphere?
No, he won't bring. Dampening Sphere is not good enough against this deck. I think Rest in Peace may be okay, as Shaq's probably playing some number of Logic Knots. He's playing Snapcaster Mage, things of that nature.
And Suppression Field?
I'm a big fan of Suppression Field because makes it so activated abilities cost 2 more to do or whatever, right?
I think so. So
We can just.
yeah. So What do you think Shaq takes out in the meanwhile?
He's gonna take out some number of the path to X. Actually, no, he'll get rid of all the path to Exiles, as bots can still go to the face and Helixes, because they can both kill the Core Spirit Dancer, which is the only creature that you're likely to kill in this matchup.
So Supplication Field.
Activate abilities. Okay, so I think Navare will bring in suppression fields because it taxes them on their mana, which is a good way to attack the Jeskai deck. It hits them on
Search of a Scanter flipped.
yeah, flip search for his counter, Teferi, other things like that. And the deck relies on it. It stops Field of Ruin, so it can hurt the deck a lot. So the things that Navare will probably take out is card 2 shows Solidarity, I reckon. Like it's an okay. Maybe he feels like he needs enough creatures.
Okay.
And maybe he brings in the Griff Spoon because I don't think flying is going to matter too much in this matchup, as he doesn't have many creatures. Spirit Mantle could matter. It may not be good enough because there's not many creatures in Jeskai control, so it'll be interesting to see how he sideboards in the matchup.
And then for Shakeel to win the game, what's he looking for? Is he looking for like a turn to...
I believe he's looking for a verdict or some way to interact with the Bogles in the early turns of the game. If he can't do that, then he may struggle a little.
We've seen a Navare mulliganing now. So a turn 2 Search of a Scanter should be good to filter Shakeel's draws.
Okay, so with um with Bogles, it's a deck that's high in variance because there's only 8 creatures in the deck you really care about. So if you don't have one of those creatures in your opening hand, it is very difficult to win the game. And the deck also only plays like 18 or 19 lands. So you can be very land light, or you just don't have spells to put on a creature.
So we see Navare's got...
So I believe he's got Dryad Arbor
and three other lands,
and like
a Clay
Ethereal Armor.
Clay Cover's got Ethereal Armor.
Okay, so I think he'll keep this as long as there's a Horizon Canopy.
Yes.
And Shaq must be relieved that he doesn't see a Leyline of Sanctity.
Yeah, so the first card Navare drew for the turn,
Ooh, rest in peace.
Yeah, the first card, rest in peace.
Okay, so we may see an Ambush Viper on Navare's next turn. Okay, so Shaq also brought in Elspeth, as you can see. So
Navare's definitely leading with Ethereal Armor on turn 2.
yeah, so it may be just okay, I'll take 2 from your Glade Cup Scout, I'll flash in a Snapcaster Mage once you cast the rest in peace. The thing is, if Navare has the choice of I'll play Ethereal Armor or I'll play Rest in Peace. So if he goes Rest in Peace attack, then he's going to get blown up by Snapcaster.
Yes.
But if he just spends his whole turn to cast Ethereal Armor, then Shaq's going to be able to race with just Snapcaster Mage. Okay, so this will play the search. Okay, so I think this way just means that Navare's just 100% cast the Rest in Peace. He has no reason not to. So Search still provides a good way of filtering through his deck and finding the card he needs to find. But I think Shaq may still be able to race, as Navare's hand is pretty weak, as it's what, like 4 lands Path to Exile or something? No, 4 lands Ethereal Armor?
Yes. He's got lands and Ethereal Armor. For Shaq to beat a first strike in Glade Cover Scout seems a bit difficult though.
It seems interesting, but I think Shaq has both Anger of the Gods and...
Alright, so Navare kept in the Griff Spoon.
Okay. Maybe he didn't like Spiral Mantle enough and just wants to load up on the 1-mana enchantments. So I think we're gonna see... I think Shaq's gonna go for some aggressive play like Snapcaster, end of your turn, and then Bolt you, and then he's gonna just try and race Navare. We're gonna see Ethereal Armor here. Shaq's gonna have to let it resolve, I believe.
So as long as Navare doesn't have trample or lifelink, Shaq has a chance of
Yeah, he
blocking
can.
deal damage.
Yeah, something like that. So Navare, I think Shaq might be in the market of just playing Snapcaster as a chump blocker here. I
Because
don't know
he's
if he's
taking quite a bit of
comfortable
damage.
racing.
Well, Snapcaster can't block anymore
Why not?
because of
Oh,
the
for
cliff
hang.
spoon.
Okay, yeah. So it's
Um,
attack for 1, 2,
5.
3, 4, 1, 3, 5. Yeah, it's an attack for 5.
So Shaq's down to 14.
Yeah, Shaq's down to 14. And I think now we're gonna see Snapcaster Bolt. Actually, no. Shaq might not want to cast the Snapcaster because he has Anger of the Gods in hand. I believe it's an Anger of the Gods. So
Which
he
is
wants to use that as a future chump blocker.
Anger seems very good.
But does the Anger hit? No, the Anger doesn't hit the Glade Cover Scout as it's a 5/4 now. So I think Shaq's out is casting the Sail the Wreckage. So in that case, I might like seeing the Snapcaster here.
Do you know what land Navare played?
Horizon Canopy, I believe.
So next turn, do you think you're gonna see Navare drawing some cards?
If he's already at 3 mana, so okay. I like this play from Shaq, trying to get aggressive. So we're gonna see the Fortune is upkeep. Nope, just drawing it. I think he forgot about the mode on settle. Okay, so we're gonna see the attack in. I assume Shaq has the second white source for the settle that we're gonna see. Yep. So we're gonna pass it back.
So this Jeskai decks have a really good way of hiding information
Yes.
because it plays generally on an instant speed basis.
So we may see a blowout here if Navare goes to suit up the Gatecraft Scout anymore. Especially with a Totem Armor aura, which is very useful against Supreme Verdict.
What's the possibility of Navare playing?
I think he's gonna crack one of the Horizon Canopies to see what's going on before he does anything else.
Sure.
And then he'll see what else. But I don't know if you can beat check if you're not attacking. Like you can't get the Sail the Wreckage out of his hand. I don't know if like your clock is fast enough. I don't know if you need to put another first strike thing on. So I think this is definitely playing into Shaq's hand.
So the Glade cover is now 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah, it's a 7. So I believe we're just gonna see the sack shock and then the Sail the Wreckage. He's gonna have to shock.
A red blue land doesn't fetch white mana.
Yep. So then Navare's probably gonna have to crack Horizon Canopy in his second main phase, try and rebuild with another Bogle.
Then do you see Shaq just board wiping the anger if he does hit another creature?
Yeah, if Navare can't make the Bogle big enough, he will anger. So yeah, this is a giant blowout for Shaq.
We see Navare saluting Shaq there.
Yep, this works the way he wants it to.
What did
So I think Shaq's firmly in favor as long as Navare doesn't go exactly like. Actually, even then, if Navare would have to wait till his turn, because if he draws this Bogle, he'll play it this turn, and if he passes back to Shaq and Shaq just angers, Shaq's ahead.
Sure.
So he has to play the Bogle and suit it up to 4 toughness in his own turn.
So we assume we'll see a crack on one of these.
Yeah, I think we'll see one. Maybe he wants to be mana hungry because of Core Spirit Dancer that he can likely draw, but I think his plan is just to. Ooh, I think he just drew another land as well. So I think Shaq's gonna get aggressive, attack with Snapcaster, and then try and bolt Navare out of the game. Oh, okay. So this is very good with Shaq. He drew a Lightning Helix, meaning that he has 9 points of burn in hand. He has 2 bullets and 2 Lightning Helixes.
So what does Navare do? Checks main phase.
He found an ethereal armor, so I think he may be in. Yeah, he may just have to suit up the Dryad Arbor with ethereal armors. I think if Shaq Anger of the Gods, there's no way Navare can get out of this. Okay, so Navare can still draw a. He only needs one more aura to make it sure that the. Okay, he's gonna bolt the Dryad Arbor.
Is
Now
there
we're gonna see
anything else?
Helix Navare. So Shaq to 13, Navare to 13. I think Shaq's going to. Okay, so he's doing the search trigger now.
We missed the point of damage somewhere. Shaq should be on 12 life.
Yeah, so we
Navare's
see an attack and then pass. And Navare draws a
Leyline.
Leyline, but I think it may just be too late.
So we see this is one of the problems of the deck. It only plays 8 creatures that you care about.
Yeah, it plays like Dryad Arbor, which only really matters with like Lily, and then the core Spirit Dancer to refill your hand. So when those creatures die, you're left with a lot of auras that have to do something on a creature. So I think we're gonna see a Leyline, and then Shaq's just gonna unleash all of his burn spells in response.
Maybe we see
Yeah, we're gonna
Shaq.
see a bolt, then potentially another spell. Yeah. But no, okay. So Shaq's gonna get the. Okay, he's also gonna flash in another staff using his clock. So if he draws a burns, oh no, you can't draw burns. So Shakeel seems to be in the tank as to where to put it, and he puts it right into exile and draws a flooded strand. Now Navare's on a 2-turn clock and left without a creature. So Navare's gonna have to draw exactly Bogle here. Because he can Bogle Ethereal Armor and then it doesn't die to Anger of the Gods. Because he has Leyline, the Ethereal Armor, and okay.
Navare just scoops it up.
Clearly didn't have the Bogle there.
Shaq's experience giving him a win there.
Yeah. So now it goes to game 3, but Navare's on the play in this game, so
Navare's probably definitely favored.
yeah, he's definitely favored in this game. But if Shakeel can pull out what he did in game 2, he may still have a chance here.
So it's very important that Shaq has a board wipe or a settled wreckage.
Yeah, the thing is, Leyline of Sanctity just messes around with his deck so much. It makes his burn spells awful as they can't hit creatures, and the way the Jeskai control deck wins is just by becoming a burn deck in the later parts of the game with the bolt, snap bolt, helix, and all of that. So getting rid of that makes it so the deck's a lot harder to win with. So I think Shaq might then bring in the Elspeth and the Lyra to shore up the late game. I don't think there's much sideboarding differences between game 1 and game 2. The only thing I can think of is.
So what's really important is that Shaq can get to turn 4 where he gets Cryptic Command, where you can
Cryptic,
bounce.
Supreme, or the Sail the Wreckage.
Is there a turn 3 win for Bogles? Or a turn 4 win on the play?
I believe so. If you go Bogle, Spirit Dancer, and then just equip a bunch of auras, you can draw a bunch of cards and then pretty much bury them.
And the Spirit Dancer also gets quite big.
Yes, but you have to enchant the Spirit Dancer, so.
So there was some quick shuffling.
Let's have a look at the opening hands. So Navare is just gonna want to look for Bogle lands plus.
I don't see any lands in Navare's hand.
I don't believe I do either, but he has to. Yeah, he's gonna have to mulligan. This is the thing with the Bogles deck. It is very It needs specific cards, so it doesn't need quantity. It just needs quality.
We see logic not in Shaq's hand. He never had it in game 1 or 2. Do you think it's a good card in the matchup?
The thing with the counter spells are still better than the lightning bolts in his deck. So I think he's more likely to cut the pass and the lightning bolts, and keep in the logic knots, as you can still catch them out on turn 2 or turn 3 or whatever. So
I think I saw 2 snapcasters in Shakeel's hand.
yeah, I think I saw double snap, settle the wreckage, logic knot. Yeah, and Navare looks like he's on all auras now.
I think this
Okay,
core
there's a
spirit
Spirit
dancer.
Dancer. Okay, I think he should keep this hand as.
So, well, if I'm reading it correctly, I see 2 lands, a Ranko, core spirit dancer.
No, I believe it's a one lander. I think it's. Oh, I think it's Temple Garden Forest. Yeah.
Something
So
like
I
that.
think Navare could go for the line of cast, turn 2 Spirit Dancer, and then just equip it with a Ranko, as it doesn't really matter.
You see Navar smiling there. There's probably a lane of the Sanctity
On top.
on top, which he just has to bottom.
Yeah. So Shaq's just gonna play a stack line of pass. Okay, so he's gonna leave up opt, I would assume. So we're gonna see the. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna see the Spirit Dancer now.
Shaq just has to kill it.
The Spirit Dancer, yeah. So Shaq will. Yeah, Shaq doesn't have access to killing it. I don't think he has a bolt or a lightning helix in his
He
hand.
drew a lightning leaks for the turn, but
He
because he played an island.
Yeah. So this is maybe punishing for Shaq if the Spirit Dancer gets out of range of the lightning helix. But oof.
He drew the
Shaq
second
already
lightning
has a
helix.
Supreme Verdict in his hand. So I think Navare's gonna try and go like double trial.
Navar's got quite a bit of damage in hand though.
The Spirit Dancer, it's a 0-2 or 0-3?
It's a 0-2, but it gets +2
Yeah.
for every enchantment.
Okay.
Okay,
So,
this is interesting. Because Navar's got a Bogle in hand. Does he...
So yeah, now Navare's the choice if he wants to double Aura the Spirit Dancer, or if he wants to go Bogle plus Aura. I think we're going to see Bogle plus Aura, because Navare wants to draw a card.
He can't logic not that.
No. But he is gonna. Yeah, he will logic not this.
Trigger.
Is it a cost trigger with the.
It's a cost trigger,
okay,
so
he still gets to draw the card. Okay. So he's gonna counter this.
Shaq goes down to 17.
Yeah.
Is Core Spirit Dancer enchantment attached to it, or...
Yeah, whenever it is targeted with an enchantment, it gets +2/+2. So
Is it not just a permanent?
it doesn't get a permanent buff, I don't believe. You can have a check. So for Spirit Dancer
It gets
says
+2/+2.
for each aura attached to it. Okay, yeah, so it does have a permanent buff. Oh, okay, so Shaq has gone for some strange mana choices, as he has double island, hallowed fountain. So he is not in the market for casting one of his lightning helixes this game. Well, not just yet. And I don't think Shaq has a castable spell in his hand, except for these 2 snapcasters and the Vendilion Click.
Do you Vendilion click yourself?
I think you have to. I think you care more about having bad cards in your hand than they do having cards in their hand. The awkward thing here is that Navare's going to be able to do what he likes now, because Shaq doesn't have access to Snap Logic Knot, so this could get ugly real quick. So as long as the...
I believe there's 17 apiece.
So if we see this Bogle... Okay, so even this is good enough to get through the Vendilion Click as the creature gains first strike. So this is already looking quite bad for Shaq, as he may have misplayed not doing the lightning helix on the Spirit Dancer, as Navare's just gonna be able to fill up his hand.
You see the power in Core Spirit Dancer.
Yeah, the Spirit Dancer is just completely undoing his mulligan. So even if Shaq has the wipe here, I think Nawaz has enough to rebuild. I think we're gonna see another aura. Ooh, on the Spirit Dancer. Okay. Yeah, I like this play from Navare. I don't know if I would toss the Griff Spoons if he has another Rancor. Okay, he doesn't have another Rancor. So Griff Spoon also has a secret line of text, so it can come back from the graveyard. So we're gonna see a
very good
huge
in
attack here. So it's gonna be an attack for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. An attack for 7, I believe. This is gonna put Shaq down to 10. So it's 1 from the Bogle. Gonna see Vendelian click, and it's gonna.
And Shaq targets himself.
Yeah, it's gonna. Okay, wow. Okay, he's gonna get rid of one of the lightning helixes.
Do you have to reveal your entire hand?
Yes. Yeah, I believe you do.
No, you don't.
Yeah, you don't. So put on the bottom. Don't put it in your graveyard. From the bottom, draw a new card. He's hoping for land. Oof, and a cryptic command. Okay, so he really needs an untapped land on this maybe game. I believe it was an attack for 7. Okay, so he's gonna chump block here and only take
4.
Okay, so Shaq is not yet on a 2-turn clock, so he's in dire need of this untapped land. I'm gonna give a call out, and he's gonna draw exactly Celestial Colonnade and be very sad. What do you think, Sinan? How bad would it be if he draws Celestial Colonnade?
I think that's Shaq's favorite land.
All of Magic.
In all of Magic.
Is it better than Talarian Academy, Library of Alex?
In Shaq's book, probably is.
Okay. What do you think of Shaq's play getting those unhinged islands instead of some red sources for these lightning helixes? Oof. I think Shaq might have missed it. Yeah, he drew ball. But he doesn't have access to red mana. Or his 4th land for either the Cryptic, the Supreme Verdict, or any of that. So, I think Shaq may have...
So he has one more turn.
I think Shaq may have made a little mistake trying not to get a red source to get rid of the Spirit Dancer. Because now the Spirit Dancer, he can't get rid of it anymore.
I think he naturally had basics in hand.
Ooh, I do not like Navare playing his land first, because he still gets to the draw triggers off of the Spirit Dancer, so he could potentially find an untapped land, more auras, and then try and go for lethal this turn. So I think he's just gonna aura up, yeah. So the Rancor comes, gonna draw a card. Okay, so he had 7, 8, 9, 10. So he's got 10 damage on the board now. And I believe the Daybreak Coronet might just be lethal here.
Well, Shaq does have a Snapcaster to block.
Yeah. So he may have another chance at this. But yeah, Daybreak Coronet does not... Oh no, but it does have Trample.
Yes.
So Navare may be punished here if...
You can't block the Spirit Dancer anyway because it has the Griff Spoon.
So we're going to see the block come there. I'm trying to think of the reasoning here. I mean, it's the same thing because it has Trample, right?
The Core Spirit Dancer doesn't have Trample.
Oh, but it's flying. It can't block. So he has to block that.
Is the Griff Spoon on the Core Spirit Dancer?
Yeah, Griff Spoon's on the Spirit Dancer. So I think Shaq takes 1, 2, 3, 4. What's the last enchantment on it? The bottommost one is another Rancor.
Yes.
So he takes 3. Okay, I think this may be game for Shaq.
Shaq took 9.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Shaq did not get to his 4th land in time to...
And Shaq concedes.
Find the verdict. Yep. I think the pivotal turn in this game was not getting a red source to Lightning Helix, the Spirit Dancer.
So I don't believe he had another fetch land. I think he only had the one Flooded Strand, and he drew 2 basic islands.
Oh, okay. Then I guess
unless he had a basic island and Flooded Strand in hand.
I think the first turn he might have made a mistake just cracking the... No, first his because he had both Flooded Strand and Island. I think he
Yes.
shouldn't have left on Island on turn 1. I think he should have left started with
Flooded Strand.
Fetchland, so he can go get Sacred Foundry, play Island, and then he has access to all his mana. I think the pivotal thing was not having access to the Lightning Helix on the Spirit Dancer. Because I was able to undo Navare's mulligan and be a threat.
He probably would have had a good chance of winning the game if he had that Supreme Verdict 2 turns earlier.
You just needed to be able to get to the 4th mana.
Well, this takes Navare to
3 and 1.
3 wins and a loss, and takes Shaq to 2 wins, a loss, and a draw. Both players still have a chance of making the top 8.
Yeah.
We'll see you in the next round.
Awesome.